Here we are at the Shady Rest Gardens in beautiful Cassville, Georgia. If the image shakes anytime, it may be because it's 40-something degrees, and I wisely have on a t-shirt and shorts. And here we have a native azalea. There are Japanese azaleas and many dogwoods in bloom. But here is one of our favorite things, which is native azaleas. We have pink ones up here at the house, and we will have some other colors a little bit later on. And here, oh, that bright sunshine. If I'd gotten out here earlier, it would have been colder, but the sun would not have been so bad. And here's yet another native azalea, and whole bunches of Japanese azaleas. But I'm not going to turn too much because the sun is right over there in the east. The daylilies are up and growing, and it's supposed to be freezing Sunday morning. I'm hoping it doesn't sting them too badly. We have one daylily that already has scapes up, got 3 scapes up. It's Joiner's black pepper, which is it's surprising because it has big scapes, big thick scapes, and it's a very small flower, and it's a dip. And here are some snow white azaleas blooming. And there's 4 seedling beds there. And some of the plants are quite large at this point for April the 5th. The day after our daughter's birthday, and March Madness. March Madness was in April. April the 4th. I guess that's why they call it that. And we're walking toward the west, and we have a view of the holler, is what we call it in the south, the rural south. That is the main part of the Shady Rest Gardens. And we dogwoods are on their way out. Their so-called blooms are past peak. And here is a stretch of huge lavender, lilac, Japanese azaleas. And I would say 2.5 inches maybe, and they have freckles. They have freckles on the top petals. Why not on the bottom? I don't know. A few of you saw this last year. It was quite different when the daylilies were blooming in June. And this is blue woodland phlox that's blooming here, scattered around. Here's some hellebores that are still hanging on. They reseed, and then you have a bunch more. These white and these pink lilac Japanese azaleas are just getting started. And here's some pink ones that are just getting started, and they're very large blooms as well. And here are some of the first clematis, or clematis, some people say, blooming of the year. I've seen some others somewhere around here, but I don't really remember where. Doris has got them scattered all over the place. And here are some blooms of the jasmine, or jasmine, flowers that have such a sweet smell. I heard a cat. Don't know if you did. And here we go into the cabin area. We hadn't cleaned our pump and put it in. Well, I guess it's in. Hadn't cleaned the pump for the waterfall and the creek because it's been cold, relatively cold. The water stays cold a lot longer than the air temperature does. And here is one of the small ponds, and you see the Lady Banks rose, or Lady Banksia rose, around that metal bench and little arbor thingy. And here's a weeping Norway spruce, or sleeping Norway spruce. Not sure which one they sold us. And these native azaleas are just getting started. That will be a nice red one in a few days. That'll be white, and it's just starting to bloom right up here. You can tell I like these things. And there we have sort of a orange and red. And we bought these things from a guy in Athens, Georgia, who took cuttings, and they must have been 5 or 6 inches long, and he rooted them and grew them from that. You can also hybridize these things, but who has time? This time of year, there's a little work to be done around here. But anyway, you can hybridize them, and the seed pods, they mature in like September maybe. But I've never even gathered the bee pods, so to speak. Here's some more azaleas trying to bloom, and some that are blooming. Here's some more acquisitions from last September as part of our downsizing program. Actually, there were other daylilies in here, and we've taken the landscape timbers apart, and we really truly are downsizing some. And here's some dip and tet doubles, and we've moved quite a few of these out. The trees are getting too large. Doesn't get enough sun in a lot of these areas, and a lot of this will become hosta beds and other things. Here is a Petalorium. I couldn't remember it for a minute. Do you smell that? I don't either. My nose is running. And this is a viburnum of some type here, blooming, and more Japanese azaleas in some sort of U. More Japanese azaleas. A magnolia. And here's our second native azalea to bloom. If that's not red, I don't know what is. I mean orange. Well, it's not red, it's orange. But this is one of my favorites, and like me, it's past its peak. And here's a strange plant. I don't know if it's Fatsia or what, but I guess those are seeds. And here's a native azalea that's not bloomed yet, but it'll be showy in a few days. And here's some spirea, but the glare's probably too bad. And here's just a pile of great big old white azaleas. And some of these shrubs have really grown. I'm probably walking too fast, but when you're cold, you tend to move in some ways faster. And here's a riot of pink azaleas if the glare wasn't so bad. And a few days ago I took still pictures, and they really were looking good. So this is springtime at the Shady Rest. And I actually made a shade, that silver tarp to keep the sun off my bride Doris yesterday. Here's some more Japanese azaleas. And here are the wooden walls that saved Athens, Greece, I think it was. And I'm going to have to stop this pretty soon because I'm going to run past the 15-minute time limit. Well, here's some more azaleas, some more dogwoods. Hey, Lucy. And there goes Lucy, lumbering down. She's ready for breakfast. She said, I walked all the way up this hill. I'm going to speed up. A, because Lucy needs to eat, and B, because I'm running out of time. And here's daylily beds, moss beds right on the other side of the white picket fence. We have some sort of ground cover blooming here, pink and purple, and we got azaleas growing, blooming up through there, and we got a bunch of pretty ones over there, but we don't have time this morning. And here's some more lorapetulum, and here's the big pond, and there's those lilac purple azaleas over that way. And I think that's all we have time for at this moment. Thank you for indulging me, and good day.